The Cardinals offense feels like they've arrived at a crossroads, if not a crisis point. After Sunday's loss to the 49ers, agitated fans are pointing fingers in every direction, from the quarterback to the butterfingered wide receivers to the coaching staff. And this is where it gets interesting, because head coach Jonathan Gannon is defending his offensive coordinator in the strongest of terms. And that OC, Drew Petzing, is strongly defending Kyler Murray. So there is admirable cohesion at the top and no layering of blame, which is something. And yet this offense cannot run the ball and is averaging just 180 passing yards per game after facing two really bad teams and a 49ers crew decimated by injury. And most alarming to me is that Kyler Murray ranks 30th in air yards per attempt when not under pressure, which means he's bailing out on checkdowns without any defenders in his face, and it suggests he's taking the easy way out way too often. Now, some of the checkdowns work, some don't, but the net effect is a rinky-dinky offense striking little fear in defenses that creep closer and closer to the line of scrimmage, and my biggest fear is that Murray simply cannot see or make correct decisions in the pocket, the kind of quarterback that can make an OC look really bad. All right, today's Bickley Blast brought to you by my great friends at Chapman BMW, who make luxury attainable. Find them online at chapmanbmw.com.
No, I'll tell you this. I thought his best game that he called this year was this one.
And
so just from when you and how we deem that is when we're looking like, hey, when we're calling shots, what kind of coverages are we calling shots first? When we're calling runs, what kind of coverage structures are we getting? What are they doing? Are we alternating? Is it known pass? Is it known run? What are we doing third down? What are our play types? Like I'm very pleased with all of that. I think we definitely need to coach our guys up a little bit better. And I think we need to execute fundamental things that go into making a play work better, and that's everybody. That's a collective effort there.
That was Jonathan Gannon yesterday with Burns and Gambo. That was that strong defense of Drew Petzing.
Yeah.
On Sunday after the game, he said, I didn't have a problem with the play calling. I never will.
I never will. Strongest of terms possible, which really to me is saying something. I think you're saying that what you're saying is that every fan out there who's blaming Drew Petzing, you don't got your facts right, is basically what he's saying. So then where does the blame, should it be apportioned? Now, this is what's really interesting to me, because during the game, Mark Dalton, the great PR guy for the Cardinals, he pointed out that Kyler Murray joined Josh Allen as the only quarterbacks with 20,000 passing yards and more than 3,000 rushing yards in 85 or fewer games. So you read that stat and you go, wow, Kyler Murray in a class with Josh Allen and nobody else. Wow, we must have a great quarterback. And yet you've got fans on the exact opposite side of the spectrum who post pictures of all these open receivers Kyler Murray is leaving on the table. Now, so what is undeniable is that this offense is becoming increasingly harder and harder to watch. For instance, when the Cardinals had a 21-minute and 27-second time of possession versus 8 minutes and 33 seconds for the 49ers, that's a pretty profound difference in time of possession. But at that point in time of the game, the 49ers had 119 yards, the Cardinals had 117. How could the 49ers have two more yards with 14 minutes less of possession time?
It's hard to do.
It's hard to do. Mm-hmm. And so that's kind of what we're kind of dealing with here. And maybe every quarterback in every football game leaves plays on the table. Maybe every quarterback, from Lamar Jackson to Josh Allen to Patrick Mahomes, maybe you can produce still shots from every game where they're making the wrong decision from the pocket. Or maybe Kyler Murray does it more frequently than most.
Yeah, but nobody really cares about that stuff when you're putting up 350-plus yards and scoring 28 points a game.
Good point.
When you're putting up less than 270 and 15 points and you miss opportunities and you have long, sustained drives that are ending in field goal attempts, not necessarily even field goal makes, these things are they're going to be illuminated a little bit, and that's what's happening right now. There's three main areas. I mean, there's really four. And two of them are in conjunction: the offensive line play and the run game, quarterback play, wide receiver play. Of those three, what concerns you the most? For me, it's still the offensive line, and it's still followed by the wide receiver play and the usage of the wide receivers. But again, that kind of ties into the quarterback play. Where is he delivering the ball? I looked at it yesterday, and we mentioned this, that there were 16 pass catchers. This was before last night's game, and I think a couple of them actually have risen above that. So I think there might be up to 18 pass catchers in the NFL individually that have more yardage and catches than the Arizona Cardinals wide receiver room. The Cardinals have the lowest number of targets to wide receivers this year through 3 weeks, 33. The lowest number of catches, 20, tied with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the lowest number of yards in the league by the wide receivers. To put it in perspective, at the top of the list, the Los Angeles Rams and Chargers. Chargers have 641 yards from their receivers through 3 games.
Wow.
Rams 635. That's 400
crazy.
more yards
That's crazy.
over a 3-week period. So when you talk about explosives,
And you're talking about a 49ers team that's decimated and running with a backup
in
quarterback.
the passing game, you're not getting sustained explosive plays from your tight end, even though Trey McBride's one of the best in the game, and you're not getting it on checkdowns. And they're certainly not getting it in the screens. I mean, they've gone 11 for 11 in screen passes this year. Kyler Murray has for about 32 yards on screen passes.
Wow.
The issues on catching the ball, obviously a big factor in the loss to the 49ers on Sunday. Jonathan Gannon was asked about that by Burns and Gambo.
Well, if you look at the game, like that's a fundamental that we got to make sure that we can control, and that's part of the game that happens. But we do have to do when we have our chances to catch the ball, we got to catch the ball.
Yeah, it's that simple. And 3 major drops: the Harrison drop, the Zay Jones drop, although it was a tough play, the DeMercado drop, really affected the game.
Yeah, I agree.
I heard Wilf standing on the table yesterday saying, if Zay Jones makes that play, the game has a different result, and he's right.
Any one of those 3 plays, you could argue, would be different.
Yes.
Because the MHJ and the DeMercado could have been touchdowns, and that's the difference in the game right there.
I looked at the replay of the DeMercado play. I'm not sure he gets in. He would have to make a tremendous move to get around a defender who was closing. But
but he was wide open when the ball was arriving. Like you, I wasn't certain he was getting in the end zone either. Either way, this is going to have to get something. This is going to have to be corrected on some level, because you should not be attempting that, or you should not be enacting that many checkdowns when not under pressure.
Do you think
I get it. If those numbers were inverted, and if Kyler Murray were throwing all these checkdowns because he was under constant pressure, then I'd say fine. You're getting rid of the ball. You're doing fine. But I get back again. It's not even the game to game stuff, because you could make an argument that Kyler Murray for the most part has been pretty good this year. It's the glitchy moments. It's that play that was nearly a safety. That was a 3rd and 1. He's in the shotgun, and you've got this still photo of 3 dudes wide open, and he doesn't let go of the ball. So what was he looking at? What was he looking for?
What was he unable to look at?
What was it? That's the thing. And so, again, this is kind of the thing where if you're a buttoned-up organization, and clearly Jonathan Gannon and his coaching staff, they're not going to get loose-lipped. They're not going to start talking bad about their quarterback to people off the record. No. They're not going to do any of that. They're too smart for that. But at the same time, if they're looking at this film, they know the deal. They know that there might be X amount of plays that are just not being had.
Thanks for watching Bickley and Marotta. Click to see the latest Bickley Blast and hit the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.